So I wanted to take a few moments to talk about how I carry around my Mavic, my DJI Mavic Pro. So what I've got going on here is I got this backpack. This is a Manfrotto, and actually I think I got this one at Costco back around after Christmas, like January of 2017 maybe. They were selling them I think over Christmas. It's a little bit smaller than I need. I'd like to get just a little bit bigger one, but this one really works for me. And so I kind of wanted to show how I pack my stuff, and I always kind of keep this with me. And it's easy to carry around, and anyway, I was one of the first people to order it when it first came out. And I got the Fly More combo. So if you remember that Fly More combo, if you've seen some of the people unboxing, including mine, if I ever get it done, you notice that there was a box like this, right? And inside that box was this. And this was the carry case, and you can buy these online at the DJI store. This was the carry case that is supposed to go with the Mavic, really the Fly More combo. And it's really high quality, I can't complain. It's like a fake, rich Corinthian leather. All the zippers appear to be basically waterproof. It's got the Velcro strap. Everything's padded on the inside. It's got a carry strap that hooks onto these things with kind of like a quick release. Zipper pockets, side pockets, for batteries and whatever. And it's a high quality product, good stitching, waterproof, more or less. It's got the Mavic branding on it. It's got the DJI branding on it. And I don't want to complain about the quality of the product. My thing is it's super small. It's just way too small. I tried to use it when I first got everything, and I was trying to cram the Mavic in there. I was trying to cram the controller in there, the batteries, because it came with 3 batteries. That would be 3. 1, 2, 3, 3. And I couldn't get it to fit right. Now there's people if you go on YouTube, they show you how to pack it, and you gotta turn this way, and it's kind of like you gotta do these yoga moves to get everything to fit. My experience, the remote controller, if you've noticed on some of my videos, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a scratch in the window. And I got that by trying to cram stuff in here. So I was like, I am not using this thing. So that being said, I don't use this. Once I get to, like, let's say 100 subscribers, if you guys are out there and you're loving me, please subscribe. Maybe this will be some kind of an auction. You can email me or something, I'll pull a name out of the hat and give this thing away, because I'm sure somebody would love it. It's got like a nice bottom. It's like kind of sandpaper, so it doesn't wear. But somebody out there would probably love to have this. It's just not for me. So here's what I use. If you care, if you're watching this, hopefully you care. So I bought this backpack at Costco, and not only do I carry my Mavic, all the drone stuff goes in the top, and all my camera equipment goes in the bottom. So this camera right here, the Canon 80D, 80D, fits in here, and with some extra lenses, I'll zip that open in a minute and show you. And then I've got on this side, I've got like a little kind of mini tripod just to set up on a table, set up on a street side, whatever, but it's only that tall. I guess I can try to take it out. So I wouldn't trust this in a windy day. It's not super sturdy, but it's all right. In a pinch, it's okay. You can set this up on a table, take a couple pictures, set it up on a window ledge, get some steady shots at night. If you look on my Instagram site, we were down in Oakland one night, and there was this full moon that came up over Lake Merritt. We were at this restaurant, and I used this to get a steady shot with this camera and do some longer, not time lapse, so some longer shots to try to get that moon just right. Didn't work that well, but it's still. Anyway, all right. So here's what we have in the bottom. I'll just go through this real quick. Don't you love that squeak? Sorry about that. All right. Some of you may notice if you watch some of the other videos about the Mavic carrying case, the bag that they have. I used to carry my Mavic in this. So now this thing serves. I keep this in the bottom part of the camera bag for the controller, for the batteries, the extra 4-port charger for the battery. And I carry this thing in here. Usually I keep this in my car but if I'm out and about and I'm like transferring cars or something, I'll just throw that in here as well. But this is, obviously, I've never used it, but if I had to charge this stuff in the car, I'd just keep this together in there. I think also in here, let's see if I can find it, I've got that little component that you can turn your battery into a USB charger. I don't see why I would want to waste my battery life on charging my phone, but it's there just in case. I guess in a pinch if you're out in the wilderness trapped. Anyway, so that goes in here. The 80D goes in here. I've got a couple of extra lenses in here. And the other thing I carry in here is the antennas in the back where the computer would go. Is a radio, so I can monitor. This is monitoring the FAA frequencies for the airports. So if I'm close to a smaller airport, when the pilots are, a pilot-controlled airport, that's not restricted airspace, but I'm out close to one, I will kind of turn this thing on and just listen, just to make sure I can hear what's going on. Please, if you have something like this, don't push the mic button and broadcast, because you do not want to be broadcasting on an FAA channel. I'm thinking that's kind of illegal, but it's a very good idea to listen to air traffic that's around your operational area with your drone, because you don't want to get into trouble. And I've got my battery chargers, my camera chargers and stuff in here too. So anyway, so all that tucks away inside here, nice and tidy. Let's zip that up real quick. And in the front pocket, oh, I just bumped the camera, sorry. Cardinal sin, sorry YouTube. So in this front pocket, so this is where I keep for the computer, I've got one of these portable little, it's a multi-device for all the different cards, so I can use all the SD cards and transfer the files of the computer with just this little portable thing. You may have seen a video on this. I did a video about, I think it was one of my very first videos, and these are just some extra micro SD cards for the Mavic, and then I've also got for the camera, the 80D. I've got the full-size SD cards for that in here, and then some extra USB ports. I've got the remote control for the camera, a little cleaning brush, some straps if I'm carrying a big tripod. Anyway, all that goes in there. Let me zip that up so everything doesn't come flying out when I spin this around. But here's where the money is. Here's the Mavic. So this is in the top, and I keep this thing handle up. And when I want to take my drone out, and I'm like in the car, keep this in the trunk or something, and I can just pull this thing out, and that was really close. Woo! Sorry. And I can pull this out, and this is actually my flight bag that contains everything I need to be able to fly the drone for an hour or so. So I'm going to put this for the side for just a second and finish off what's in the bag. In this backpack. In here I've got some spare props. I think I've got two here. Let's see what else. Oh, here's the antenna for the radio. And that might be it. And if I'm fortunate, I can carry a small computer or a tablet in here too to do some editing, but my laptop right now it's big and it doesn't fit in here. So I need a solution for that. But it does fit if you had a iPad or a smaller Samsung tablet, something like that, that would fit in there fine, or like a 13-inch tablet, that'd fit fine. And it's padded. So anyway, this protects the drone, so I don't need all the padding of this thing, because this is a camera case and it's designed, it's all padded, so it's going to protect your devices in here. So to me, that's a good deal. This is what I go with. I'm going to move this out of the way. So let's talk about the drone. Let's talk about the flight. I'm going to call it a flight kit, whatever you guys want to call it. So you may recognize this. This is simply a travel toiletry bag. I probably picked this thing up at Walmart or Target for $7 or something. It just, to me, it works excellent. It's a perfect solution for carrying everything you need carrying. You'll go carrying stuff. It's everything that you need to carry your drone. Walk down the beach, walk through the park, walk down the street, and you're just carrying this. There's no branding, there's no notice of what you've got. To me, it's very discreet and it fits everything perfectly, unlike this that everything's all crammed in. So let's take a look at what's in here. So on the side, it's got two identical pockets on each side. and they are perfect for batteries. So I have 3 of these, I think they're called charging cases, but they're fireproof, and they're made for remote controlled products. I'll put a link for these up in the description, because what I dig about these, hopefully I'm zoomed in here, what I dig about these is they fit the batteries for the Mavic perfectly. It's like they were designed for this thing. They fit right in. And when you travel on TSA, on planes, all your batteries, except for the one in your device, they're in fireproof bags. It's a win all the way around. The way I do my setup is when my batteries are fully charged, I put them in with this side up. Let me get it out. So all of my batteries are marked, M1, M2, M3, M4. Let's see if you can see that. I hope this isn't blurry. So all of these are marked, and if they're fully charged, I keep them in their battery envelopes so that I can look in, I can say that one's charged. Once the one that's discharged on the Mavic, once it's discharged, I take out this battery, put it in, the fully charged one, I take out the discharged one, and I put it in upside down. So if I open up a bag and I see it like that, I know that's a dead battery, I'm not going to use it. So it's just quicker, so I don't have to fumble through and accidentally put in a battery that's only 20% charged or 10% charged or whatever it's at. So that works out good. So getting back to the bag, I've got 1 battery, 2 batteries on one side, on the other side, battery number 3, and like I said, they're all, when I open them up, I know that one's fully charged. And then the other spot I have in here, that's where my AC charger goes. So I've got everything I need to, like, if I'm at a Starbucks or I'm somewhere, I need to charge the batteries up, I've got everything I need to charge that up. And then also in here, I did that really fast, also in here I've got a spare charging case with a battery, a backup battery for my phone. I've got an old Galaxy, the S5, 5S, can't remember which way they did it, S5 I think, and that has a removable battery, so I've got an extra battery that's always charged, so on the fly I can just, instead of trying to charge the phone, I can just swap out the phone and keep going if something were to happen to that charge. Okay, so that's all the side pockets. And then moving into the center, the star of the show, let me get these out of the way so I don't drop them. I don't want to damage these batteries, that's like $300 right there. Alright, and inside the center pocket, it zips open. It's got this little hook, so it kind of works out good. You can actually hook it to the luggage thing of your car, or wherever you can hook it off to something, and it just sort of hangs so you can get to everything. So it's kind of nice. I was going to cut this thing off because it gets in the way when you're trying to zip it, but it's actually kind of handy sometimes. So let's start off with the top part here. When you open this thing up, there's a zipper pouch, and that just keeps miscellaneous things. So what I like to keep in here, because you might get asked, is your drone registered? Your drone's up there flying, you might be able to really quickly keep your eye on your drone, but you can pull this thing out and say, yeah, here's my registration certificate. I don't know why this is printed so big, but I keep that in here. I've got a copy of my Part 107 certificate that shows that I'm an actual certified pilot. I also have the actual card in my wallet, but here's just a piece of paper if I need to. Plus it's just identification that's all together. I keep an extra couple of copies. These are just some really cheesy. Someday I'll get some business cards, but I just printed out some contact information. If you're flying and you take, some kids say, hey, look at drone, you can snap a picture of them, and the mom, if the mom's okay or dad's okay with that, and give them a card, say, hey, email me and I'll send you a picture. It's just a way to kind of get your word out there. And if you got somebody who's giving you a hard time, or a police officer or something like that, you can just sort of give this to them. This is me, it's illegal, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of good just to spread the word and try to advance our hobby instead of make it worse. So I keep those. In California, they've got a I guess it's a PDF, but there's a regulation about flying parks and state drones, and it's okay to fly except for when they tell you can't. So state parks, not federal, okay, not national parks. But so I keep a copy of that in case I'm out somewhere and somebody who may not be as informed kind of starts to give me a hassle. I can kind of refer to this as I'm talking to them. Because it should be clearly marked and posted not to fly drones and on the website and all that other stuff. if it's singled out that you can't. So I keep a copy of that. And then also, because I have taken this to Portland, you may have seen my Portland video where I flew the drone in the wintertime in Portland. I did take this on Southwest Airlines, but I do keep a copy of it's actually FAA's PDF that you can find on their website, and it actually breaks down the rules about carrying batteries on the flight. So if you kind of get an agent, a gate agent at your airlines, or maybe a TSA agent, this might be able to help you explain, because I'm carrying this thing on the plane, this whole bag, actually that whole backpack I showed you. If I get to TSA and they're saying you can't bring those batteries on, I can pull this out, and it helps me try to negotiate. And it's their it's their website, it's their information. So if you get to a supervisor, you should win that battle, because you're supposed to carry your batteries on the flight. You're not supposed to pack them in your luggage, and the Mavic batteries are small enough that it's okay. But I just like to have that information just to try to help me out, because I don't want to be stranded somewhere, can't get on the flight back home, or vice versa, going on some fabulous vacation or going someplace and they're jacking me up, not letting me on the plane. So got that. Let's see, I've got a little soft cloth that I can wipe off the camera lens if I need to. And then if I need to, for some reason, if I need to give up my card or something, or take the card out, I got a little protector case for either the full-size SD or the micro SD, just in case I need that. Okay, I'm out of breath. I am out of shape. Kids, do your exercises, otherwise you're gonna get old and out of breath like me. Moving on. Okay, so keep in mind, this thing was designed for like traveling cosmetics, toiletries. So there's some waterproof compartments, there's all kinds of different things. So in this little case here, it's a little zipper pouch. This is where I keep the cables for charging up the, this came with the Mavic. This is the cable to charge up the remote controller. And I've got an extra USB, so I can charge up the phone, the device, whatever device you're hooking up to your remote controller. And this keeps, this actually works off of those two ports they give you on the AC charger. So it's good to have in here. And then somewhere in here, if you've seen some of my videos, you may see me fumbling trying to get my phone connected to the remote controller through that little cable. That's the worst part about this Mavic, is trying to get that thing set up. Everything else is awesome, but trying to hook your phone up, your device up to the remote controller. Anyway, so there's this little piece of plastic that this is supposed to be like on the slider part. It's in the handle. Anyway, I took that off because it just gets in the way. But I don't want to lose it. I don't want to put it in a drawer somewhere because I'll never find it. So I just keep it in there and hope for the best. I don't expect I'll ever need it, but I don't want to lose that part because I want to keep everything all together. Okay, so that's this. That's the top part. You know what? I don't want to waste your time. Okay, so then let's get on to it. Another video you may watch, if you go to my site, you can see where I actually unpacked this Mavic carrying bag. So the Mavic is in here. I keep it props on this side, landing gear on this side. It goes in this way. I guess it could fit this way, but then it gets a little bit wide. Anyway, so I've got that in there. This bag went to some other product. I can't remember what it was, but this is where I keep my remote control. I keep it inside of a bag. The scratches I was talking about are like right here. This thing got messed up in when I was trying to pack it in this thing. So I keep it now in a separate bag, try to keep it clean, try to keep the window from getting all scratched up and jacked up. I ordered, there's these thumb protectors. There's like some kind of a plastic bar that goes across here. I have that on order. I will, when I get it, I'll do another video about that. But I don't like, these are so, they're like cut so your thumbs don't slip off, but they make it sharp. And so I want to try to protect that from scratching other things like the window of my phone. So anyway, so the phone goes in there, the controller goes in there, the Mavic goes in there. Another video you may have seen, this is the sunscreen, the hood that goes over the remote controller to keep out the sun. That folds flat, goes in there. And then another video that you can watch, there's a little kind of review on this thing. This is, look at that. This is the sunshade / gimbal protector. So I keep that in there when I need it. Let's see what else. We're getting down to the bottom. It's almost done. Hang with me. So I keep a couple of pens in here. And then at the very bottom, those are those spare, depending on what device you need, you have those spare cables that hook up to the remote controller. I just keep those in there so I don't lose them. Okay, sectional map. I live in Sacramento, so the sectional map for me is the San Francisco sectional. So good for planning. If I'm just thinking I want to go somewhere, this is the first thing I look at, or I can go on my phone. There's an app that also has a map like this, but this is pretty good because I can actually kind of see more detail, and I can kind of get an idea, can I fly here, can I not? I don't want to drive 50 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles to some lake, mountaintop, whatever, and I'm under some Air Force base's controlled space, or under some, Reno's airport or something like that. So this gives me an idea of generally where I can go. I think it's important that everybody has, if not an actual, I like maps. I like paper. It smells really nice. It comes, it's fresh ink, whatever. You can order these from anywhere online, or you can go to your nearest airplane store. But you should have one for your area. They're just cool to look at. But obviously use the app to check yourself out. And then finally, what I've got in here is, when we were in Portland, another video you can check out. This is when I first got this Mavic. I probably had like maybe 6 flights, 10 flights. I hadn't flown it very long. Packed it on a plane, took it up to Portland, and did some flying. And I started writing down things as I had to update. I had to update the software, the firmware. I had to recharge batteries because I wasn't near my computer. I've got a spreadsheet on my computer on like a Google Drive that I can update as in my actual logbook. But when I'm away from my computer, I just need to jot down things that happened out in the field. So I started using this hotel's stationery, paper, whatever. But it's kind of falling apart and it's kind of hard to keep track of. So I'm gonna move. I keep this for now, but eventually I'm gonna move to this, which eventually, like tomorrow, and I'm gonna start keeping track of it in a more organized fashion, and just start keeping my dates and stuff in a little notebook instead. Because I want to keep a logbook, an accurate logbook of my flight time, my training, and my maintenance. But when you're out in the field and something, you get a battery indicator, you get a compass recal, or you get a update firmware, and you don't really have time to update your spreadsheet or whatever you're using. I want to keep track of it on a notebook. Okay, so I was hoping I'd talk slower, but I don't think I did. I think I went through this really fast. But that is my flight kit. It all packs away nice and tidy. I keep the screen down so I don't scratch it. I don't have a protector on that screen. This actually should go in first. I should have done that first. Let's see. I'm going to fast forward through this stuff so you'll see me flying through, repacking my stuff. I'll do it all leisurely here, but you'll see me doing it at like a 4 speed. And the noise will be blah, 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 blah. This goes back. And there it is. Way better solution than this, I think. That's all there is. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts. If you have something that works better for you, let me know. I'll check it out. Otherwise, keep your props up. Don't crash. Fly safe. Enjoy. OPG is out.